Creatures are going terminated each day, and keeping in mind that has been a disaster, it has been an unavoidable truth for many years. In reality, there are a few creatures that we probably won't have endure had the species made do. Here are 10 terrifying creatures you're happy are wiped out. Also, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, make the richest part of your life by subscribing to our channel. 10 terrifying animals you're glad are extinct. 10. Kaprosuchus. In the event that a T-Rex and a crocodile had an infant, that is what the Kaprosuchus resembles. It would seem that a crocodile, but it has long legs and it can run. There is an assurance that you wouldn't have the option to surpass this person. Its name signifies boar croc, and it has been nicknamed disc, not to be mistaken for man bear pig. This creature lived during the late Cretaceous, so it went wiped out when the mass eradication occurred around 66 million years back. 9. Megalodon. In the event that you think the gigantic sharks in the Sharknado establishment are strange, at that point hold up until you meet the Megalodon. This massive creature developed to around 50 feet in length and one tooth was the size of a human. This terrifying creature lived for 14 million years, feasting on meat until it went terminated around over 2 million years prior. Given that, it makes an incredible white shark look tiny. We're unquestionably happy to not have these folks around any longer in light of the fact that the sea would be untouchable. 8. Andrewsarchus. No, this isn't a dinosaur rendition of your companion Andrew. Truth be told, is anything but a dinosaur or reptile by any stretch of the imagination. It's a well-evolved creature. It lived during the Center Eocene age, and lived in a territory that we currently consider to be internal, Mongolia, China. According to specialists, the Andrewsarchus is a mammalian likeness of Velociraptor, implying that it ate essentially everything, particularly meat. They are startling looking and would eat you instantly. Ironically, it is accepted that their relatives are apparitions and sheep, which we eat and gather. 7. Pulmonoscorpius. On the off chance that you don't care for scorpions, then you'll be extremely happy that these folks are wiped out. The Pulmonoscorpius resembled your ordinary scorpion with paws on the front and a monstrous stinger on its tail, but for this animal, it was more than 70 centimeters in length. It lived during the Vasian age of the Carboniferous, and if fossils were found in Scotland out of every other place on Earth. 6. Megapiranha. Normal piranhas raised a touch of ruckus, and you unquestionably would prefer not to be in the water with them, but imagine a scenario where we revealed to you that there existed something much more awful. Enter super piranha. These folks were any place between 71 to 128 centimeters in length and live during the late Miocene period in Argentina. Because of fossils, researchers had the option to make sense of the two examples of this fish, but the remainder of the body is obscure as of now. 5. Camerasouris. Camerasouris appears as though something from the momentous conflict with adult Cap. Notwithstanding, this kraken-like an animal was around 9 to 12 meters in length, and it lived during the Ordovician time frame, so it existed about 470 million years prior with something that enormous. It's an assurance that the animal's arms were nothing to play with. 4. Helicoprion. What's more startling than a shark? Gracious, simply the shark with a round observed in its lower jaw. Seriously, have you gotten a decent glance at this thing? Tequila Top Ryan lived about 290 million years back, and even endure a mass termination occasion. It, in the long run, went wiped out about 240 million years prior alongside a sign in its mouth. It is accepted that it was 9 to 13 feet in length. Imagine if the Helicoprion lived today, we would have an average measure of fish life wiped out on account of this person. 3. Gigantopithecus. Gigantopithecus went wiped out about 100,000 years back, and it is the biggest ape that has ever lived. If this creature hadn't become wiped out, he would be viewed as Bigfoot. He was accepted to be around 10 feet tall and weighed about 1,100 pounds and lived in the tropical backwoods of China for around 9 million years. Researchers accept that this eradication of Gigantopithecus is an ideal case of why greater isn't better. 2. Titanoboa. Indiana Jones wasn't a fanatic of snakes, as it's a decent possibility that he would have despised the Titanoboa. This wiped out. The snake was huge to the point that it devoured crocodiles. It was around 40 feet in length, and it lived around 60 million years prior in the warm water of the tropics. Did we notice that they weighed about 2,500 pounds and they executed their prey with tightening? Better believe it, we're happy they're wiped out. 1. Terror bird. terror birds were only that terrifying back in the ancient days. Beginning and the end was greater. They went after creatures that were littler than them, like ponies. The dread-winged creatures were around 9 feet tall and weighed about 330 pounds. These flightless meat-eating fowls that had feet like a T-Rex could break bones with a single step. They lived in South America for around 60 million years before going extinct around over 2 million years prior. Around the opportunity man came into the image.